talk a little bit about grilling, and we are going to do some grilling of vegetables and fruits today. Grilling, like roasting, is a great way to bring out the natural flavor and natural sweetness in fruits and vegetables. And we have several examples today that we're going to use. I have thickly sliced tomatoes, thickly sliced eggplant, whole pieces of pepper that have been cut, cauliflower steaks, and some mushrooms and zucchini. And right now I'm going to make a marinade for those, so that's going to help bring out even more flavor and to add some additional flavor with acid like citrus juice and garlic and fresh herbs. So grilling is a great way to prep a lot of food or bulk cook at the beginning of the week so that you can have those foods to eat later on in the week. So cut your vegetables kind of thick and large and grill them so that they don't get too soft as they sit for the rest of the week. Another thing that you can do to add flavor is to add a marinade to your vegetables before you put them on the grill. So I have here some chopped garlic, some chopped parsley, and I'm going to juice some lemons for some citrus. We're also going to add a little bit of olive oil. It's not going to be exactly like a vinaigrette because it's not going to have as much olive oil, but we want just a little bit on the vegetables to prevent sticking while it's on the grill. So I'm going to just go ahead and start cutting and squeezing these lemons. And I will strain the seeds out. Okay, so I have a half a cup of lemon juice, and I'm going to go ahead and add about a half a cup of olive oil. Okay, so half a cup of olive oil, half a cup of lemon juice. This is about 4 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, and this is about half a bunch of parsley, finely chopped. And this is just going to get all whisked together with about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to whisk that and then pour this over the vegetables and let it sit for around an hour. So you want to try to cover as much as you can, and we'll toss these with some tongs so that the vegetables are well covered. So marinades are a great way to add flavor without adding additional sodium. So one of the things we're going to grill today is cauliflower, and it's important to know how to cut that cauliflower so that you can have a big nice steak for grilling. And you might notice that there's a few little bad spots, but don't let that deter you from preparing that cauliflower. Just kind of trim that off, no problem at all, and then tear these outer green leaves off that are on the bottom. And you're going to cut this core off just a little bit, the stem. And you don't want to cut too much of it out because that's what's going to hold your steak together. So the first cut you're going to make is actually right down the middle so that you have 2 halves, and then you can make steaks with what's remaining. Usually you can get 4 steaks out of a cauliflower, and then this you can just save for florets, or you can save it and make cauliflower rice. Oops, that one broke. So we have 1 nice cauliflower steak here, and 2 more steaks here. Well, actually, we can make cauliflower rice out of all that. nice grill marks, which is what we're looking for. Some of these that are on the outside are not getting as grilled because the coals are in the middle. So we'll just come back to those. Might even move some of these well-grilled vegetables to the side and move over some of the ones that are not getting as cooked. Okay, so when choosing the pineapple for this video, I had one at home that I had been ripening and one that I purchased for the shoot. The one for the shoot you can see is bright green, doesn't smell like anything at all, and the one that I already had ripening on my counter is yellow, and it smells very sweet and fragrant, and that's the one I'm going to use. So this one is going to need to stay, the green one is going to need to stay on the counter for another 2 or 3 days, just like this. Do not refrigerate it because it will not continue to ripen, but in a few days it'll be brown and smell delicious just like this one. Okay, so I'm going to break down this pineapple for grilling. I have a French knife and this would work fine, but since I do have a big slicer, I'm going to use this to cut the base of the pineapple off, and it's a little overripe, and the top of the pineapple off, and these I'll just discard. And so again, I'm using this big knife, but you could use your French knife, and the idea, just so you can see that it can be done, the idea is to peel the outside of the pineapple off while leaving as much flesh as possible. So you can see that my fingers are out of the way. I have a flat surface to cut against, and this really does smell delicious. So pineapple is a great fruit for grilling because there's a lot of natural sweetness, and something about the grilling, it just lends itself to pineapple. So if there's a couple little bad spots, just cut those off. And normally, if I were just gonna cut these to eat in chunks, I would cut it in half, and then I would cut the core out of it. Because we're gonna grill it, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little bit more of that off. Extra, extra ripe. Because we are gonna grill it, I'm just gonna cut some slices like this. And these are gonna go straight on the grill, and then when they come off the grill, we could cut them in half this way and get that little bit of core out, but you could serve it just like this, and then your guests can eat it, or you can eat it just around the core. Okay, so if you have never broken down a watermelon, this is a really easy way to do it. As long as your knife is long enough to go through the whole thing, then your knife is fine. Don't try to break down a watermelon with a knife that's not big enough. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is just cut off both ends. And most likely you would just discard this, but another thing to do with it is to chop it up and put it in a big jug of water, and then you have kind of some watermelon flavored water. Then stand the watermelon up on its side. And this is a beautiful seedless watermelon. And then again, you always want to turn it on its cut side for safety. And I'm just going to cut some slices that we can throw on the grill. Okay, for the grilling, you notice that I did not cut the rind off. That would just be kind of a waste, and it actually makes it easier to handle. And then if you wanted to cut this into chunks, not for grilling, if you were gonna just eat it in chunks or make some sort of fruit salad, just cut the watermelon in half and then come back through and make some cuts, diagonal cuts, and they don't have to be diagonal. And then come back through and make diagonal cuts again. And then cut all the way around the rind. And most of those chunks should fall right out. And then you have chunks of watermelon to store in the refrigerator. So we have our fruit ready to go for grilling. We have a white peach, some sliced pineapple, and watermelon. And I have this little inside grill pan. So if you don't have a grill outside, like a gas or charcoal grill, then you can use a grill pan. And see, these ridges here are what make it a grill pan, so you can make grill marks. And then I've already just lightly sprayed this fruit with a little bit of spray canola oil. And I'm just gonna put the fruit right on the grill pan. And I can already smell the caramelization of the fruit. So it's been only a couple of minutes, and we've already had some really nice grill marks going on. And you could go a little bit darker if you wanted to. Those are looking very pretty. So when the other side gets grilled, I'll pull those off and start on the watermelon. A little pineapple seed there. Oh well. Okay, so this watermelon has probably been on about 4 minutes. And it has some really nice grill marks, and that's going to intensify the flavor, give it a smoky flavor, and it's just going to be a really different variation on watermelon if you've never had it. So as far as grilled fruits go, I mean, the sky is the limit. Don't feel limited to the peaches, watermelon, and pineapple that we've done here. Try bananas, mango, plums, nectarines, other stone fruits would be great, other tropical fruits would be great. Apples, just run-of-the-mill apples, also great. So don't be afraid to experiment with some of your favorite fruits. It's a great way to have a little sweetness, like a dessert at the end of your meal, without adding a lot of salt or sugar. If you choose to eat meat, it is best to use other cooking methods when possible other than grilling. But if you must grill, here are a few things you can do to reduce HCA and PAH levels. Choose meat wisely. Emphasize leaner cuts of meat. Less fat drippings means less smoke and less exposure to PAHs. Further, removing the skin from poultry before cooking will reduce HCA formation. Marinate. Not only does marinating meat impart more flavor, it can also be protective against carcinogenic compounds. Acid-containing marinades like those containing vinegar or citrus like lemon or lime juice are best to reduce formation of HCAs. It is also important to note that traditional barbecue sauces, which tend to have a high sugar content, can increase formation of HCAs. If using these sauces, they should be added to foods after they have been cooked. Add herbs, spices, and aromatics. Herbs, spices, and aromatics have been shown to significantly reduce formation of HCAs when meat is grilled. Mint, onion, turmeric, garlic, rosemary, ginger, thyme, and chili pepper are all great choices. These seasonings can be used in marinades, mixed into ground meats, or used as a dry rub. Avoid overcooking or charring. The amount of time that meat contacts the grill makes a difference. Try quicker cooking proteins like fish or shrimp, or cut meats into smaller pieces to reduce cooking time. Meat and vegetable kebabs are great solutions. Rotate meat frequently to allow the center to fully cook without overheating the surface. Blackened or charred areas of meat can be removed to reduce exposure to HCAs and PAHs.